Hello, everyone. This is Plague Doctor here again on the VRML network, bringing you some gameplay from the Breachers VRML live. We have Trident versus Shadow Wizard Money Gang. It's going to be an exciting matchup today. Scorch, how you feeling so far tonight?
I'm feeling pretty good. I am excited to get into this match. I know a couple of players from both of these teams, and I know exactly how they play. So I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a closer matchup than what the connoisseur votes that I saw were. But I'm excited to get into this.
That's good to hear. And speaking of these two teams, looking at their matchups page, with Shadow Wizard Money Gang currently on a 2-0 record so far, playing lots of Factory, bit of Hideout, and just a little bit of Dam with a lot of round win percentage on all of them. Trident, meanwhile, 1-1, but still a good record on Skyscraper. Won all 7 of their rounds, 8 on Hideout. It's been fantastic for both these teams so far. Shadow Wizard Money Gang barely getting out on top. And looking at their matchups page, honestly, I feel like it's going to be a very close match. I have to agree with you.
I think it will probably either come down to the map or the side that some of these teams pick. Especially with how you saw Skyscraper, I think one of them had a 100% win rate. So if Skyscraper is picked and that continues, I mean, it's going to be difficult for that other team to be able to push back from that. So it's definitely going to be close. I'm predicting 3 maps. I feel like I usually always do, and it just always never works. But we have seen a couple of upsets already to start the season, according to the connoisseur votes. So it could really go either way. You really can't tell until you actually get into it.
Yeah, and we aren't going to have to worry about seeing Skyscraper. Our bans today are going to be Skyscraper and Arctic. 2 of the maps that are going to be played quite a bit. So Skyscraper out of the running. Arctic is something that we see quite a bit last season and this season so far that we are not going to be seeing. So if I had to guess, we're probably going to see maybe a mall. We're definitely going to see Factory. And I would guess Ship, just based off of the choices that are left over. But you were talking about upsets, and I do want to take a quick look at our standings so far in Season 5 of the VRML here on Breachers. Ling currently on that top spot, I believe, on a 3-0 record. Fluid NA as well up top with Frigid. We've seen these players play together quite a bit and seen these teams duke it out multiple times. We'll see how these standings do change over time. Regardless, just waiting on these players to get started.
Yeah, it is early in the season, so obviously you see teams like Acer, Fusion, IVI. I don't even think I saw was on that board. So it is still a little early to be able to see exactly how these teams pan out against each other. But that is the beauty of this. You see early on, you saw multiple upsets where players voted for one way drastically, ended up going the other. So in the beginning of the season, it really is 50-50. It's a toss-up unless you start to see these teams established, start to see how they push up against one another. And I want to go back to what you said about Maul. Maul is being played a lot more, I've seen. I've heard from the community in ranked games and also quick matches that a lot of these teams are starting to actually like Maul more and more. I'm not quite sure if it's just because of the amount of time that players have spent actually going on it because it's been out for a little bit, but I do see a more liking for Maul. So I'm excited. I do agree with you. I think Maul is going to have to be one, possibly Ship. And I'm thinking maybe, did you said Arctic and Skyscraper were the bans?
Correct.
I'm thinking maybe Hideout is
the
other one if it goes to 3.
I think, yeah, Hideout, Factory, and then it's a toss-up between Ship or Maul. Personally, with these teams, I haven't seen Shadow Wizard Money Gang play on Maul that much, but, you know, the team's going to have to learn it at some point. So if I had to guess, someone's going to pick Maul. I wish I had seen more of their scrims, honestly. I've seen Shadow Wizard Money Gang scrim before, and I've seen them in-game as well. So, you know, maybe we'll see some good plays going on. It looks like we're going to get started relatively soon. We have all 10 players in lobby. Looks like our first map is voted on as well. Right on time, just a few minutes past 8 o'clock EST. We're going to get started into this. And Scorch, I think it's going to be a really exciting matchup heading into this. What are you looking to see from these two teams? You looking to see good gunplay, good utility?
So I have actually witnessed Trident play, and I've seen Shadow Wizard Money Gang in a cast, and I keep saying it over and over and over again, and I just think good util placement and good use of util is absolutely key to winning games. Sometimes you don't always need the better gun. I've seen Spectrals take out Vezins, so I think util is definitely going to be playing a huge factor in today's matchup.
I think you're especially right, and especially on one of our oldest maps in the pool that will be our first one, Hideout. Hideout is going to be an extremely interesting map to be played for our first one of the series. We have Shadow Wizard Money Gang on the offense, Trident on the defense. We're probably going to be seeing maybe some, I would guess probably some C4, just because that's one of the new gadgets that were put in. If they're not familiar, you can open up the blowable walls. We saw that put to fantastic use over on Arctic and on Ship to open up some great pathways, but especially as well on Hideout to make it so that people can peek directly into Garage by opening up the wall preemptively. So we'll see how the strategies will change over for these players. Now, Scorch, heading into the first round, utility-wise, I'm not seeing a lot on the offense. I'm somewhat concerned as well to see Logan Youngjet only on a bald Jesper. They are really trying to get their save going.
Round one is a bit iffy, especially considering the you only start with 900 eco. But with that in mind, I mean, these players still like a Jesper. Yes, it's good to save, but you still have 900. Maybe you'll be able to buy another util. And some players don't consider round one as a sort of key win, but it is. In my opinion, one of the more important wins. If you win round one, you can snowball your way to winning more and more. And we already see a quick play from Shadow Wizard Money Gang as the wall is now foamed with Guinea pushing up close, trying to see if he can get a pick on that door as Mola able to take out Chicken Eater in sight as Guinea pushes up, now takes out Boiling. And now he's going to plant the EMP. Incend was missed as Logan Youngjet pushes up, takes out Doctor Who, but Jesus pushes up and takes out Logan Youngjet.
Mola back on roof. We see a B push from Halo wanting to get into the back line. It's a really unfortunate situation for the Trident players with EMP now set up. Guinea trying to get the kill off on Jesus. Now it is just one left, and Pax gets taken out for the final kill of round one. Guinea getting the 2K, finishing out for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, now at a 1-0 lead. I want to take a quick look at the scoreboard. Pretty even overall for these players, so we may see some front runners in the end, but right now they're staying the same. Now, Scorch, looking at that last round, it felt like Trident almost got stagnant in the back of A point. I don't know, it almost felt like they got util and then realized that they couldn't really go anywhere else.
I'd have to agree with you on that. I mean, you saw it from what I saw, maybe there was another nade that was used, but from what I saw, when Guinea pushed up and went to go plant the EMP, there was only one incend thrown at him, and it was thrown to the outside of the door. So it was a complete misfire from the incend. And now, again, it is only round one, so you only have a certain amount of money to be able to afford these utils, but these players got to realize that it is important, it is key to be able to save the money to buy those incends and buy those nades on round one to be able to deny plant. I feel like if they were able to deny plant early on, it probably could have been a different way there.
Speaking of saving money, we see Logan Youngjet, because of the Jesper save at the start, has 3,850, could get a Marui if they really wanted to. But they choose not to. Meanwhile, Chicken Eater gets a fantastic pre-nade onto Halo. That is an immediate numbers advantage for the Trident side. One player still stuck inside Garage, trying to maybe rotate out. Can't quite get it done. Tease is just wanting to get as many little pieces as he can, getting supported by Chicken Eater. They do just want to get some good kills down, but Shadow Wizard Money Gang, with that initial kill, is going to be at a bit of a disadvantage.
Guinea and Kingman Red both sitting close on the door trying to push up, but these players in Trident, as Jesus pushes up and takes out Kingman, deny the push-up, but Mola Mola able to take out Chicken Eater, pushing up and takes out Jesus. So that is already 2 picks on both sides by, I think, only 2 players, 1 on each side. So still 3-3, looking a little bit more favorable for this Trident squad, as Guinea is only sitting at 16 HP. Wall is now blown in Garage, getting tossed over. Now second wall is blown. Mola Mola able to take out Boiling. Doctor Who takes out Logan Youngjet, as Doctor Who tries to swing Mola Mola, but gets killed on that window. And now we're looking at a 1v1 Pax versus Mola Mola. Pax looking to tie it up for his team, as Mola Mola is sitting close on that table, doesn't elect to vault up. However, he does elect to push up, just barely not able to see each other. That was so close, but Pax has control of that EMP, so he just needs to sit in the corner. If Mola Mola doesn't realize he's there, and I don't think he does, as Pax takes out Mola Mola for the team ace. So everyone getting involved for Trident for their first round win.
Well done to Trident overall for getting the clutch off, especially in the Garage. That's such a tough place to hold as a defender. You really, I mean, looking at his scores, you really just can't get a defense off if you're not really just ahead of the game, either money-wise or firepower-wise. Mola Mola over on Shadow Wizard Money Gang holding on to a 5.0 KD. Sorry, 5-1 KD. They really want to keep this KD up. Meanwhile, the teammates will secure Trident their first round. Now, economy-wise on Trident, they're still staying pretty conservative with only SMGs. Meanwhile, we're seeing the first rifle buy over on SWMG, Shadow Wizard Money Gang, with a Marui in the hands of Kinman Red, wanting to get some good shots off downrange. But looking at the economy, this could be almost a half ruiner if Shadow Wizard Money Gang doesn't clutch this round out.
It's very 50-50 when it comes to doing what Trident is doing. They seem to be playing for the back half of this first half, so they seem to be just playing conservative, trying to see if they can get their picks, maybe possibly take a weapon from another one of these players in Shadow Wizard Money Gang, as the nade goes out, does not take any damage done, as Guinea was just barely able to back out. But it seems like Trident is, again, yeah, like you were saying, playing conservative, and you see a Hurricane in the hands of Logan Youngjet on the other side, still 2,900 in hand. So both of these teams playing a little bit conservative for the eco, as Jesus pushes, or excuse me, as Guinea pushes up, but gets taken out by Jesus. And now Mola Mola takes out Chicken Eater with Logan Youngjet now pushing into A and taking out one player. And now we see a 4-3 as A is in complete sight, or excuse me, complete control of Shadow Wizard Money Gang with that insend down onto connector. Now Halo able to rotate around, give the EMP to Kingman Red. Now he elects to go and plant the EMP with that insend still sitting on connector, so unable for Boiling Hot to be able to push up as nade goes out, looking to see if he can get him, but Mola Mola ends up finishing that pick.
Now, these two players left over on the defense have a lot to contend with, especially with these players separated by almost an entire building now together. Logan Youngjet pushes out, gets the 2K with the Huracan. That's now a 2-1 lead for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Well fought by Trident. They just really had no defenses over on A, unfortunately, with Logan Youngjet getting in with the Huracan, putting some good use in on, I would say, I mean, I don't know about your opinions on this, so I don't want to be too polarizing, but I really don't like the Huracan. When I'm playing the game, I feel like it just doesn't have the firepower, but clearly I'm being proven wrong in this case, as Logan Youngjet puts in the work for their team, getting, I believe, 3 kills in just that last round.
Shotguns are very 50-50 for me. Sometimes I love them, sometimes I hate them. It's a love-hate relationship for me. But recently, I've been kind of loving them. I've been kind of playing ranked, taking it seriously, but screwing around a little bit, trying to see how the shotguns work. And I like the Hurricane better than the Knut, just because I think they got a little bit of I do. I like the Hurricane better than Knut. I think it's because they got a little bit of a damage buff or like a range buff or something early on. And if you're able to hit that shot, especially close range, playing in areas like storage in factory, you're able to sit there and play close and take out these players. So I I personally like the Hurricane better than the Knight, but that's just me.
You won't make a convert out of me yet, but you have sound reasoning on that, but I don't know. I feel like the Huracan hate runs deep in my blood at this point. Now, with a lot of flashes coming out, Chicken Eater gets a completely free Marui, but it doesn't matter as we see Pax taking out Logan Youngjet. We're already at a 3-2. Trips haven't even been placed by Pax. He's still holding on to them after looting the Marui from the body. Mola Mola stuck away from Guinea. Guinea on one side, Mola Mola on the other. Mola Mola stuck inside Laundry, tries to take a chicken, can't get it done. Now gets pushed out by Pax. Can he get the clutch off? He does not. And that's now a 2-2. This is evening up, but economy-wise, still kind of favoring Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They're going to have a lot of money to work with and possibly have a full buy on our hands.
I don't know if you saw that kill in Garage, but there was a player with a Spectral on Trident side able to push up and take out a player with an Arill. So this is what we were talking about early on with not necessarily needing the gun skill or the gun difference to be able to take out these players, as you're able to sit in those corners and be able to kind of surprise these players and pick up those weapons. So it seems like the work for Trident looking to be conservative in the first half is kind of paying off. They were able to keep a couple of weapons from the previous round and spend some more, and they still have the eco to go into that last round. Possibly if they win this, they could buy guns for themselves, buy guns for the other team, or buy extra guns to be able to wallbang. So it's an interesting strat by Trident that's currently paying off.
And as I was talking about before, economy-wise, it's still really in the favor of Shadow Wizard Money Gang, but it could swing back if Trident gets this round off, because you can see $0 on Halo, $0 on Kinman Red, and we still have one round after this in the half. So this could be a deciding factor for Trident as long as Doctor Who stays alive or is able to get a rifle from a teammate. Very point-central defense from the Trident side. There's no roamers. They're not messing around with any of that funny business. They are purely staying on point, trying to make sure they can't get caught off guard. A lot of wall bangs going down outside the B wall. Mola Mola tries to go inside and gets taken out by Jesus immediately. He is not having any of that nonsense. As B is about to get pushed into, there was a distraction on A. C4 takes Kinman and Guinea down relatively low. Chicken Eater alone on B, have to contend with some util going out to try to take him out. Nade will go back directly to the back, might take out Halo, doesn't quite get it done. As Kinman Red wants to push in, Logan Youngjet swings straight into A, takes out one, can't get the other, but that might give his team the opportunity they need to push straight into a point as Guinea is ready and waiting on the A door.
With these two players remaining for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, they are kind of a bit of a stalemate right now. Still two Maruis in hand, waiting for that stim to possibly go off for Red to be able to stim Guinea. And now it looks like they're going for a bit of a rotate as they were able to get these players to go back into A. All three players for the Trident side are in A. One's looking to rotate. Flash goes out, doesn't get anything. Guinea now pushing up, trying to get that incent off. Does, as Red able to take out Boiling. And now Kingman Red looking to plant the EMP with that smoke, now trying to get out and just hold angles. These two players for Trident now have to play site retake as they played a little bit too close to each other in that final standings of the minute. But Chicken Eater able to take out Guinea, pushing up, trying to get that last player. And now I believe they might have heard that rappel, and it looks like Trident is going for the defuse. Can they? And they do successfully get it off before Kingman Red was able to even push up. And was it a misplay by Kingman Red? Should he have stayed up? Do you think maybe he would have died regardless? I'm not quite sure, but it's good round by Trident to, even though give up sight, give up EMP, able to retake.
I don't know. In my head, I think Kinman was getting yelled at by his team to not save. I think when his teammate died, I think he was heading down to save, because there was no way that he couldn't just rappel outside and watch the EMP from outside. I think one teammate died and he went, oh, this is a lost cause, and just went all the way out, and that might have cost them the round. 3-2. Trident now on a complete Marui full buy, but looks like we have a very similar situation on the Shadow Wizard Money Gang side. However, Logan Youngjet committing to the Uricon, now on another Uricon buy, but he couldn't get a rifle regardless. Grabbed a lot of utility heading into our switch round. This is a decisive round for both teams. If Trident gets this off on the defense, they're going to go have a 4-2 lead, which would be a very exciting prospect for them. However, if Shadow Wizard Money Gang gets it off, that is going to be a 3-3 even blank slate.
I don't know if you would agree with me, but I feel like this is more of an attack-heavy map. So Trident to be able to take control and possibly go up 4-2 is Chicken Eater already with a pick onto Guinea on the garage, looking to see if he can get a second one. And the player that swung into Laundry, boiling hot, able to take out Mola Mola. So now it is already 5-3 as Chicken Eater takes out another one in Halo and Garage. So now 5-2 as Trident is looking up, and their save from round after round paid off as all 5 of these players were able to buy Maruis. And now Kingman Red able to take out Chicken Eater, but boiling hot immediately on the other pick onto Logan Youngjet. So now Kingman Red has a bit of a hill to climb for this remaining round if he wants to tie it up 1v4. And I believe these players know where he is as he tries to push up and take out one on Garage, but Doctor Who able to take him out. And now Trident goes up 4-2, a little bit of celebratory shots for them.
Well done overall. Trident now on their offensive rounds are going to have a bit of a interesting time trying to get inside the building. Shadow Wizard Money Gang now holding on to some C4. We saw some C4 usage from Trident on the latter half of their buys, but looks like Shadow Wizard Money Gang committing to it extremely early. Some repels on the side of the building. Looks like we have Laundry possibly from Chicken Eater. Chicken Eater is someone to watch for some of these teams. I feel like Chicken Eater's had some fantastic picks in this matchup. Logan Youngjet possibly taunting these players a little bit with his charm, just having a bit of friendly conversation almost through the charms on the garage door. Mola Mola, Logan Youngjet most likely both going to be holding onto the garage. Mola Mola especially going to be stuck in a corner if Jesus does peek this garage door as sharp as it looks like he is. It's going to be tough for Mola Mola to get any of these kills down. Meanwhile, over on Laundry, Guinea is watching Laundry like a hawk. If that window opens up, Chicken Eater might just be doomed, but it looks like Guinea gets around just in time to not get taken out. Chicken Eater inside the building already on Laundry, takes out one. They don't know where he is. He's pushing straight in. Pax is inside. Doctor Who pushing in. Now it's just Kinman Red. A immediate swamp for the Trident players. Chicken Eater gets yet another kill onto Kinman Red, and that is immediately a 5-2 lead for Trident heading into our round 8.
So I think what happened wrong with Shadow Wizard Money Gang there is that when he shot open the window, I believe it was Chicken Eater. When Chicken Eater shot open the window, they kind of just let it sit there. There was one player in Guinea that ran back to site and ended up getting picked off for it. They didn't really watch it, especially hearing that maybe he jumped in. I'm not quite sure what they are hearing. Obviously, we can't hear what they're hearing, but I think that's mainly what went wrong, because Chicken Eater able to push up, get 2 picks, maybe a third, I can't remember. But that was a huge defeat in the defense for that, because that's already 2 picks. You're down 3-5. That wall is open because you opened it yourself. It's really difficult to be able to stand there and keep your ground, especially with all of that area now in control of Trident. And I don't know, it's not looking well for them. But I honestly believe in it.
I do think it's going to be an exciting matchup to keep going now. Deathbox already getting bombed out. It looks like we did have Logan Youngjet TKing the bot in order to get its guns. Unfortunately, Logan throws out an incendiary, but it's a bit too late. A control already just given up. B control completely held, and that is an extremely quick, I think maybe 12-second round 8. That was there was barely any time to even talk.
Trident electing to go for an extremely aggressive play. I mean, it was like 10 seconds blink and you miss it. Like it was super fast. And I think that's what they are trying to play. They are trying to play the mental game. Early on, they played aggressive but also passive on defense. And that first round when they started on attack, they waited a good maybe 30 seconds and then everyone just swarmed the building. Now they're all just swarming the building. So I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get in the heads of their enemy, and currently it's working, as Shadow Wizard Money Gang is not able to come up with any sort of stop for this Trident offense, as it seems dominant. Like it seems unstoppable right now for how they are playing. And Shadow Wizard Money Gang needs to be able to adapt, maybe also get in their face instead of just kind of allowing them to take space. And it seems like they might be trying to do that here.
Seems like it. Meanwhile, upstairs, we do have a garage hole. Chicken Eater maybe wants to push through. Logan Youngjet upstairs, just thinking about pushing through. Takes one down with the Huracan. Pax tried to go upstairs. Unfortunately, doesn't get lucky with the EMP. Logan Youngjet pushes outside, takes on Doctor Who, and that is an immediate reverse sweep. Jesus, my God. Alone downstairs and gets taken out. And that is a 3-6 now. For Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They brought that back extremely quickly. I honestly thought we might be done with map 1, but that was an extremely quick sweep. As we just saw a sweep from the other side last time, Scorch. This is a very close game so far, and I think possibly one I wasn't expecting to be this close.
I'd have to agree with you. Even though it is 6-3, these players are playing both, trying to play back and forth, and sometimes they are playing back and forth. Like you said, even though there was 4 players up remaining for Shadow Wizard Money Gang last time, there were 5 players up remaining for Trident the round before. So they're going blow for blow, back and forth. Even though it is 6-3, I feel like the score doesn't really do it justice, just how well Shadow Wizard Money Gang is playing with the adversity that they are currently facing. And they did exactly what I said, where they realized, hey, listen, these players are just going to run straight in. Let's not give them space. And they did not give them space. They didn't even let them enter the building. You saw Logan Youngjet pushing out with the Huracan, taking out 2 players outside. So good on Shadow Wizard Money Gang to be able to adapt. Can they do it again?
Pax goes in with the flash, immediately takes down Guinea. A fantastic pickup. I do want to say a quick thank you to Tiger Claw for the $2 donation in chat. He may or may not have over 3,000 Canut kills on his main. That is absolutely insane. That's more kills than I bet a lot of people in the audience have currently. Meanwhile, Mola Mola looking to throw out a C4 on the A door. Might be a bit of a nasty surprise for Trident. Does actually put it back, decides against it currently. Trident a bit stagnant on their push, actually. Get taken down by an incendiary. Logan Youngjet pushing up with the Huracan, doesn't get it done. Mola Mola gonna throw out the C4 very quickly, but Chicken Eater decides to push straight in, takes out 1, takes down 2, and that is gonna be a 7-3 victory on first map from Trident. Before we go to our ads, I just want to quickly look at the scoreboard real quick. Chicken Eater 13-5. Fantastic score. Mola Mola 10-7. We have some high scorers on this one, Scorch. Regardless, Trident win our first map of the series. We'll be back with a very exciting map 2 after a very short ad break.
Only Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. And somebody's
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2K.
Wow.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Breachers VRML here on the VRML Network channel. We just got done with a very exciting map 1 where Trident stole the victory from Shadow Wizard Money Gang with a 7-3 lead. Well done to them. Now, Scorch, that was a super exciting first map, and I'm excited for our second. Did you get what you wanted out of that first map?
I wish I could have seen maybe a little bit more from Shadow Wizard Money Gang, but from Trident, I did get what I wanted. They played into the minds of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Like I said before, they kind of played passive and played their eco, tried to see if they could collect any guns they could. And then after they were up big. They just spent big. They like you saw on round 6 before the switch, they had 5 Maruis, and I believe they bought a couple of more. So good job by Trident. I believe I don't know who picked the first map, but I am excited to see what goes on in map number 2, because obviously each map is different. So I am excited to see how this pans out. If Shadow Wizard Money Gang has a response, we have seen responses before, especially within this season, where we've seen teams get absolutely shut out 0 or 7-0 and then end up 7-1ing right after that. So I'm excited.
I am very excited as well, especially for our second map, one of the older maps in our map pool, if not the oldest. We're heading into Factory. Factory is going to be a real exciting one here. Is Shadow Wizard Money Gang on offense, Trident on defense. We saw in those match clips a lot of clips of Chicken Eater. It's not he just has a lot of good moments, honestly. I was even looking in the chat during that ad break, and a lot of folks were talking about Chicken Eater, especially Juice was talking about Chicken was #1 on the leaderboard. Definitely a good player, and I have to agree, honestly. Chicken Eater has had some fantastic shots, but so has everyone on Shadow Wizard Money Gang and over on Trident. It's been a fantastic matchup so far, and it's just looking to get even better.
Trident is starting on the defense, so on paper this really should go Trident's way, considering that this is a really defensive map, especially with the C4s. And a lot of teams use C4s to blow walls and keep control, and I see less and less of people using C4. I mean, I guess it's 50-50. Some people use C4s for kills while others use them for rotates. So C4, I feel like, is a pretty balanced gadget, and I'm excited that it was added. It really changed the way that some of these teams play, especially with the defense. You see, possibly we will see on storage where players blow hatch late and then drop late. So definitely something to look out for, especially with the util. But minute and 50 seconds left on the clock. We already see Shadow Wizard Money Gang pushing up into vending, trying to get any control that they can. Another player just dropped in Guinea on the hatch. 2 more players followed, and now that is a complete control for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. But Chicken Eater pushes up, takes out one in Jason, and gets refragged by Mola Mola. So right now looking pretty even, 4-4. You see a player sitting in corner in Doctor Who. Pax takes out Mola Mola on that flank. Logan Youngjet taking out Boiling, and now it is a complete rotate as they are planting in B.
Pax heading around through lockers as Logan Youngjet gets some fantastic shots off with the Taurus. Pax having to contend in lockers, takes out Kinman. Now in the back, these players are separated. They can't play each other's cross angles. Doctor Who pushes in, takes out one. It's just Logan Youngjet, extremely low. Gets one down in the connector. Pax has an opportunity to start defuse just to bait Logan Youngjet out, but Logan most likely knows it's a fake defuse, but doesn't matter. Pax takes down another. That's going to be a decisive first-round victory for Trident on our second map of the matchup. And honestly, we had some good shots there. It was an interesting... I don't know if you saw that flank in the beginning. Pax on the bottom of the stairs with, I believe, Jesus just sitting at the bottom of the stairs. It did work out, but it was I don't know, a bit of a toss-up. If those players checked to the bottom of the stairs at all, they were going to completely separate their players out.
Good defense by Trident, even though Shadow Wizard Money Gang was able to rotate onto that B objective and plant. Trident was able to reflood and retake site, and like you saw, there was a fake defuse, and Pax able to take out that final player to defuse, winning round 1 for Trident. So far already looking up for Trident. Shadow Wizard Money Gang though was very close, so I feel like this second map might be a little closer than what most people are anticipating, especially with what happened with map 1. But Shadow Wizard Money Gang looking to kind of keep the pressure up like they were ending on map 1, where they're just consistently trying to get in their face, take control quick, and Trident so far responded pretty well.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang wanting to get a good hold on the storage. We're going to see probably a bit of a drastic response from Trident. We see a lot of util going on, as well as a C4 nearly getting a kill. Upstairs getting hit out, a hatch play in the works from Guinea. Maybe trying to check to make sure there's no flankers. Chicken Eater does get a fantastic nade kill off on Mola Mola. A lot of util getting thrown out by Trident, but it's getting returns, honestly, on their investment. Chicken Eater pushing straight into storage, hungry for some kills. Definitely wants to get anything done, but can't quite get any shots off just yet. He's going to have to be just a little more patient if he wants to get this done. Guinea upstairs still. Maybe trying to go for the push. Sightless Cadillo in the hands of Boiling, I think. Just these players pretty spread out on the defense, actually, so it's going to be rough for these players to really assist each other in case of storage wall blowing. With some fantastic wall bangs from Boiling, that's going to be immediately another player down for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, and nearly a third, but it doesn't matter as Jason takes down one. That's going to be a 3v3 health advantage belonging squarely in the court of Trident.
You see the use of the Cadillo, especially with the buff that you had where it's like it basically shoots like a pistol, as Chicken Eater trying to swing out and take out Logan Youngjet, but already a player buying a Cadillo and being using it to their advantage, and so far being pretty disruptive. Pax takes out Guinea, so now 2v1, not looking very favorable for Jason, as he has 36 health to his name, EMP in hand. However, with that Omen, if he can get a couple of stray shots, but no, Boiling able to take out Jason. So now Trident goes up 2-0 with 2 of their players remaining. The Cadillo still in hand, so good use by that Cadillo. And I like the way that Trident is playing. Last time you saw they were playing very, very conservative, only buying a couple of SMGs. We saw a Jesper buy, then a Cyclone buy the next round. Now they are pretty much going full out. They're committing to win. They're committing to potentially win 6-0 on the first map, but still a very, very long way to go.
Extremely long way to go, and also I don't want to get too overconfident for them. It feels like Trident has definitely hit their stride, but Shadow Wizard Money Gang may come back from this. They could just be biding their time a little on the buys. We saw that last time from Logan Youngjet going for a Ball Jesper on first round in order to get the Uricon, which is again happening here with the Uricon in the hands of Logan Youngjet. That is a dangerous, dangerous person to let have a shotgun. They got some fantastic shots Now, Pax alone in B, along with, looks like Dr. Who. Logan Youngjet trying to bait out a window push, doesn't quite get it done.
These players are... Oh,
Go ahead.
These players are pushing up into orange. Now, Chicken Eater able to take out Guinea. So that's already a pick, and now he's looking to get a second, but Mola able to take him out, not before losing a lot of his health. 4-4, all even up, but Shadow Wizard Money Gang has Mola on 29 HP if they have a stim in hand, which doesn't look like they do. So now they're going to have to play the part and try and see if they can get stray picks while Trident potentially tries to push up on them, but it seems like they're being pretty determined to sit in sight and not swing anything, as they know that they have the man advantage, and they know they have the advantage in defense, and they're looking to keep that advantage.
They are looking to keep it. And we have a lot of gunfire being exchanged through the wall and on the stairs. Shadow Wizard Money Gang looking to go for a pretty standard push into the A point. Now, immediately, Logan Youngjet runs straight into Khan with the Huracan, but unfortunately doesn't get it done. Mola on a lean peek up on box, hoping to take out one, doesn't get it either. It's just Kinman Red having their team wiped out in almost one fell swoop, now getting pushed on stairs. Kinman has a very important decision, and it looks like they've reached it, now going for a bit of a save. Viper in hands. They don't have a lot to work with, but now being seen outside the building, someone knows they're on the top floor, and it looks like they aren't pushing. 40 seconds left on the clock. Kinman does not have EMP. At this point, they might just be going for the save on roof. So while they do that, I just want to talk about, we've had some fantastic plays on both sides, obviously, but Trident has been putting it out here on Factory for this second map. They do not want to go down to a third map. They want to continue on. Like Shadow Wizard Money Gang just hasn't quite hit their stride yet. We saw Logan Youngjet try to push straight into Khan, and just really didn't happen.
Yeah, to your point, Trident just playing out of their minds. There really is no answer for this Shadow Wizard Money Gang, as Kingman Red just looking to save that Viper to prevent anything else from being able to. And now Kingman Red taking out Pax. So that is one less gun for this Trident team, but it doesn't look like it would matter, as Pax just has everything to be able to buy. So Shadow Wizard Money Gang still looking to claim their first round. It's looking pretty rough for them right now. Looks like there is no answer for this Trident defense, and this Trident defense is just playing aggressive, playing in their face. They're playing it very, very well against the Shadow Wizard Money Gang team.
I wouldn't say there's no counterplay just yet. We're seeing those first Maruis getting bought over on Shadow Wizard Money Gang, and because they're losing enough rounds in a row, they're also getting a lot of money in return, even if they do lose. So we could see their economy start swinging back in the other direction. This is very volatile economy over on the Trident side currently. They can buy rifles this time. If they lose, however, they're going to have a bit of a worse situation on their hands. I want to keep a close eye on Logan Youngjet in this round with the Huracan. They can put some good work in. We saw them, unfortunately, not get it done over on the last round. Looks like Jesus My God trying to go for a quick nade outside of the storage door. Also didn't get any hits done. A very slow start for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, but typically we have good plays when it is slow starts. They try to really hone their skills in, but Guinea immediately gets taken out by the C4 from Chicken Eater. That's another kill on the board for Chicken Eater. And now trying to push straight into storage, gets immediately taken out by Mola. That was a very risky move by Chicken Eater that just did not work out at all.
Shadow Wizard Money Gang looking to put any points on the board that they can. You got to start with one round. All it takes is one. Just keep moving forward. But this map is not over. It is very far from over. I have seen several times where teams have gone up 5-1 and ended up losing in overtime or losing 7-5. So by all means, this game is not over. Shadow Wizard Money Gang is very much in it, but Trident is still playing at the dominant level. 4-4, however. So wall is now blown Flash goes out. Logan Youngjet able to take out Pack, so now they have man advantages. Logan Youngjet able to take out Doctor Who. Jesus takes out Kingman. Now Mola Mola pushing up, taking out Boiling Hot. And now Shadow Wizard Money Gang looking to secure their first round of this half. But Jesus is trying to prevent this from happening as he takes out one, and Logan Youngjet trying to see if he can take out a second, but EMP is planted as Mola Mola able to take him out, and now that is round one for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. If they can keep that up, possibly we could see 3-3 half.
I'd say undeniably the MVP for that round is Logan Youngjet, going in, getting almost a 3K. He got that last kill on the side, but I think almost a 3K for Logan is definitely a big contender. And I said that getting the Huracan in the hands of Logan Youngjet was a fantastic idea. 3-1, possible for a comeback, but at the same time, Trident did go up 4-2 over on the last map, so they could possibly get up to a 4-2 this time, and Shadow Wizard Money Gang could claim it back.
4-2 starting on Hideout, I feel like is much different than 4-2 starting on Factory. Especially for some of these teams with the new C4 being added. Going up 4-2 on Factory is good, but to me, I have that lurking idea in the back of my mind that 4 rounds on defense just wasn't enough, and in some cases it is. So obviously 4-2 so very, very well, but it just depends on from map to map. Trident looking to possibly claim 4-1. Shadow Wizard Money Gang looking to claim their second round of this map number 2 and possibly tied up in round 3. Now we see Shadow Wizard Money Gang taking control of this vending. One player sitting back in Gen, and Logan Youngjet just waiting for anybody to push up. Nade goes out. Does not get any damage, however. So now that is full control of vending for the Shadow Wizard Money Gang team, as wall is now blown. Chicken Eater takes out one. Boiling Hot takes out another. Doctor Who takes out a third. Chicken Eater takes out a fourth. And that is just a massacre on the Shadow Wizard Money Gang team, as they just one after the other, and now Logan Youngjet just sitting on roof, not knowing what to do, not knowing what just happened to his team.
Now, in this case, with the Huracan, he can put some good work in, but oh, he's going in. That's 1. That's 2. Going for the 3rd. He's getting flanked out, though. They know where he is now. He's going to need to be checking his corners extremely carefully. One in vending. He's going to get seen, and that is, unfortunately, a denial from the Trident side, but I was excited to maybe see that 3 or 4K as Logan. We see him in this clip jumping down, takes out 1, takes out 2 in one fell swoop. Just can't quite get the next ones. 4-1, potential for a 5-1 curse from Trident, or just a 5-1 in general and just getting it done.
This Plague Doctor is why I like the Huracan. Able to push up, take out 2 players with that fast shot fire, or fire rate, excuse me. And that damage, like, he was so close, it was point blank, and he was able to one-shot him and be able to shoot again. I feel like if he had the Knut in hand, he might not have been able to get that off in time. Maybe got the second shot, but the Knut is more unforgiving of a shotgun. And Logan Youngjet putting in the work at 8 and 5 for his team. So still, he's showing us why the Huracan is, honestly, I would say, a shotgun.
I'm still not convinced. Chicken Eater, I am convinced, though, is the MVP in this matchup, at least in this round. Getting the immediate 3K immediately. Oh, no. That has got to hurt for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Chicken Eater knowing there's one on roof. He's going to get a little greedy, I think. He decides not to get greedy. That is Mola Mola on the lean out, trying to take out one, but now Guinea's about to get taken out on wall. Oh, he gets the kill there on bathroom, but he's going to get refrat. Never mind. Chicken is just going to drop a C4 out. Guinea able to survive on gravel. I'm not quite sure what the plan is I think the most important part here for Trident is to just not throw. You need to not give ones. They're giving 1v1s currently. Doctor Who is going to get killed in bathroom. Chicken Eater gets the refrag, thankfully. Now it's just Mola Mola. Takes out another. Now, in this case, Scorch, it's a 2v1. If you keep peeking individually, you're going to very quickly get rid of your advantage. If Pax dies here, that's immediately going to leave now a 1v1, where before it was a, I believe, a 5v2.
Yeah, that is a disadvantage of somebody leaving ones, but Mola Mola able to take out Jesus, almost able to take out Pax, but just barely able to miss his shots. And Pax now secures that 5-1 for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, but that is the fault for most of these teams. They go up 1-5, 1-4, 1-3, and they just decide to be like, hey, listen, we're up numbers. I know my teammates have got this. I'm going to see if I can try to find the pick. Then you're leaving ones. You're consistently leaving ones. Then that 1v4 turns into a 1v3. Then that 1v3 turns into a 1v2. Then that 1v2 turns into a 1v1, and then all of a sudden you lost the round. So it is key for these teams and these players to play with discipline, and Trident almost lost that huge advantage on that map. It was so close, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of players trying to push out and get the final kill. I know I do it a lot. Like it's something that I have a bad habit of, but you losing that 1v1, if you were to not get the pick, that is already leaving your team at a less deficit than it was before.
Let's see. Mola Mola ready on door. Looks like a pretty standard patch play from Trident. I would urge them to not get too overconfident in their plays. Logan Youngjet does get killed immediately on the stairs. Doesn't get a hit off on Chicken. Now Chicken Eater looking to push straight in. Needs to check his corner as he jumps straight past Mola Mola. Gets taken out. Mola Mola cased down another one. That is now a 2K, nearly a 3. Does not take out Doctor Who, but like I said, they got a little too aggressive. Chicken Eater never checked his corner right next to that inside doorway, and they paid the price now on a 3v4 Mola Mola. Relatively low, but on pistol round, you can really deal with being relatively low, as a lot of it is just down to 2 and 1 hits.
Playing a little bit too aggressive on that, getting tunnel vision really on that, and now Guinea able to take out Doctor Who, Jesus take out Mola Mola, Pax taking out Jason. So now it is a 2-2 with the EMP looking to be planted, but Guinea takes out one and Kingman Red takes out the other. So good response by Shadow Wizard Money Gang to collect this first round. They needed that if they wanted to move forward and snowball their way into possibly winning this map. It only takes one. You got to keep that momentum going though. So good job by Shadow Wizard Money Gang to respond in a, I wouldn't say dominant form, but in a way that kind of keeps Trident on their toes, realizing Trident seemed to have pushed in without care, realizing, hey, we're gonna win this game. Let's just let's just get it over with. And Shadow Wizard Money Gang proving to them that they are not out of this yet.
And we've talked about this in the past, and I want to talk about it now. The economy over on Trident is now really abysmal, honestly. Now all on SMGs. Meanwhile, the tide has turned a little bit for Shadow Wizard Money Gang with some Uricons and a Rill and then SMGs to fill in the gaps. It's going to be looking better and better for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, especially with that Uricon still in the hands of Logan Youngjet. He's going to be putting in some horribly good work is really what I meant to say there, not horrible work. That would not be the right term for it. Mola Mola directly beside window. Looks like we have some wall bangs maybe trying to go out. Some just making sure they can find where these players are. Jesus is my God and Boiling Hot. Now inside storage, Boiling Hot getting past the incendiary, taking out Logan Youngjet. Mola Mola gets the kill in return. Stuck inside the storage. Now gets Doctor Who. Now running back into point with Jesus McGon, able to get the refrag.
Chicken Eater, you would say, is the MVP for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, but Trident, for Trident, but Shadow Wizard Money Gang, I would say Mola Mola is the MVP. You see him get refrag after refrag and able to follow up with another pick. I've seen that consistently maybe 3 or 4 times already, sitting at 11 and 6. So good job by Mola Mola to try and keep his team in this, and now Trident looking to see if they can do a hatch play. As the hatch gets blown, Chicken Eater jumps down. Both incense are thrown to prevent these players from pushing up. That is almost EMP down, and now EMP's able to get down, but not before Jason and Guinea get 2 picks of their own. Jason able to take out Chicken Eater, and now 1 player drops, and that is it. As Chicken Eater takes out the final stray.
They drop.
Trying to push down. Yeah, he dropped in the incense.
I can't just leave that. He dropped onto the active incense.
I'm not sure why
I thought he was just going to stay up there, and then he dropped onto it.
So Jason, thinking he's Superman, realizing he couldn't fly above that incense, gets taken out, and unfortunate for that, but Shadow Wizard Money Gang now collecting 2 rounds in a row, looking to collect their 3rd. And if they win this round, they are in prime condition to tie it up. You see them buying these shotguns. You see Logan Youngjet with another Yurikon, and then Mola Mola now elects to go for a Canut. You see a Marui and a Rill and a Viper in the hands of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. So still a lot of eco to spread around as well. And Trident looking a little bit rough as you see all 5 players buying at SMGs and just a little bit of util. You see a stim, foam, drone, and flashes, and that's about it. You see a cloak as well, so not really, no nades, no incense, no anything to deny anything. So Trident is still struggling a little bit on the eco, but Shadow Wizard Money Gang playing very well. We're realizing we're down 5-1. Let's see if we can fix something, and so far they were able to fix it.
Now I feel like part of the issue here is that Trident is falling into a bit of a slippery slope that I see a lot of super high level teams fall into, which is, oh, we're losing, let's buy everything we can to stop them, right? When if you're up this many rounds, you can afford to lose 1 more round to save. That way you can come back with everything possible with just 1 more round down rather than nickel and diming your way to a loss. Mola Mola waiting on stairs. I don't know. I just feel like Trident is buying everything they can. It's just not working out super well. Throwing in a lot of flashes for not much return. Packs might die to this trip mine. Not a very good trade, unfortunately. Logan Youngjet taking out Boiling Hot, but gets refragged by Doctor Who. Now a 3v2. Jesus, my God, downstairs gets taken out. Now it is just Doctor Who with an RCP upstairs and no EMP in hand. It's downstairs with the rest of his team. They may be up 2 rounds, but now they're down thousands in economy.
What you were saying before, I have to agree wholeheartedly, and I am strong on my team about it as well, and I'm sure a lot of other teams are strong about it. If you are up 5-1 and you realize, hey, we're losing 1, now we're losing 2 in a row, let's see if we can stop this loss. And then it just keeps going where you keep full buying. You see Jason finally getting that pick onto Doctor Who in orange, but you see the consistent full buys from these teams, and that's why that these teams, I wouldn't even call it a 5-1 curse. I would call it a 5-1 inevitable play. Like, it's just they are doing it to themselves by consistently buying eco. I feel like Trident should realize, hey, listen, we keep losing. None of us are able to buy. We're not able to buy the necessary util. Now we see 5 rifles in hand, but still, again, not really a lot of util coming from the Trident squad. So it's very iffy on paper, especially with the guns in hand. It should really go Trident's way, but Logan Youngjet able to make use of that Yurikon this entire match, both maps. So Shadow Wizard Money Gang, I feel like, can tie this up. It is a long shot for Trident to potentially win, especially because even if they win this round, their eco is cooked. They're not able to win, or excuse me, if they lose this round, their eco is cooked. They're not able to win the next round, and then all of a sudden you're tied. And if you're not able to win the next round, now you're down by 1. So some of these teams probably need to realize that, hey, we keep losing. Let's save 1 round so everyone can buy. Then we'll full commit into the next one.
That's 1 for Chicken Eater. Pushing through Garage, trying to take that 1 more. Can't quite get it done with Mola Mola on the blind fire. There was a very good attempt by Trident to go in on the back line, but it just isn't working out. Pax already down to a 1v4, and we're seeing this fall apart right in front of our eyes. Now on 37 health, Pax doing a CSGO weapon inspection on his Jesper, I think, and thinking about his life decisions. And, you know, you were talking about it, that these players going down a bit of a slippery slope, and that's what it feels like, honestly. It almost feels bad, honestly, to look at this and see Trident, who were on top of their game for, I would say, the first few rounds of this, that are now falling behind and falling into a bit of a slump, because even if Pax clutches this round out, the rest of his team are not going to be able to afford anything. They're not going to be able to afford any Maruis, any Vezins, anything at all. It's all going to be up to them getting good utility plays, which is what we wanted in the beginning. They're going to have to make fantastic use of utility, and with them being on factory, on a relatively defensively sided map, it's just not looking good for their prospects.
It's just time and time again where I've seen this happen, and I point out that sometimes not necessarily it's a curse. A lot of people say it 5-1 curse, 6-1 curse is more of a, like I said before, teams shooting themselves in the foot. Pax is electing to save, which is a smart move, being able to probably buy a lot of util next round for his team, maybe buy a gun for another player to be able to buy the util, but right now it is not looking good for Trident, as their eco is just smashed right now, with Boiling Hot the only player over 500 and he has 1500, so going a little bit good for him. But Pax able to save this Marui could go a long way. But Shadow Wizard Money Gang, like, they are putting in the work to keep alive. They're playing super aggressive. You saw that rotate from Trident, which is not meta, I would say. So not a lot of times these teams expect it. So good on Shadow Wizard Money Gang to be able to maintain that hold and just prevent everyone from being able to push in, and being able to keep this lead tremendously with all 4 players still remaining.
Yeah. Honestly, looking at the layout on the economy, we see Logan Youngjet peeking up over the scoreboard for the folks at home, with the Uricon being a driving force behind the push for Shadow Wizard Money Gang to come back and bring us maybe to a map 3. Over on Trident, we do see Chicken Eater still at that 13-9 a front runner, but it feels like the rest of his team maybe just haven't been getting as much team play going, right? We haven't seen them playing as much as a team. I've almost been seeing a lot of individual play, you know? Chicken Eater has been going in alone and then getting followed by everyone else, or he's been going with maybe one other person, and then if they get taken out, the play somewhat falls apart.
If I was Trident in this situation, I would take this as an initiative. Like you were saying, they really aren't playing together, and they aren't playing they aren't playing with the necessary guns and util to be able to do that. So if I were Trident, I would say, listen, let's see if we can save this round. Obviously, they're still trying to see if they can full commit, but I would play it at least one, because all you need to do is win one round to at least secure overtime. If you have the necessary points to be able to keep that overtime, then you're on the defense. It's a whole different game for you. But minute and 55 seconds left on the clock. Shadow Wizard Money Gang electing to play a more anchored defense with only one roamer, as you see up top in Logan Youngjet. With that Uricon, might I add, still, as this Trident team is trying to push up. They have control of Orange. The nade goes out, no damage done with the foam getting tossed over to Chicken Eater. Now he foams the wall, looking to see if he can blow it, but not before getting in position for his team. Guinea sitting right behind a chassis, along with Kingman Red sitting in fire. So still a very good hold by this Shadow Wizard Money Gang team, just holding angles, realizing that we need to buy time. They are biding their time, letting Trident push them, as Logan Youngjet takes out one in Doctor Who and takes out a second in Boiling Hot. Can he take out a third? No, he does not, as Pax denies the 3K from Logan Youngjet.
But I have to talk about, I think it was Boiling he took out. Boiling was on the flank watch and didn't take him out. That was a bit of a blunder for the Trident side. He was watching that bathroom and was able. Logan Youngjet got 2 shots off on him immediately before he even shot, and he was looking at the bathroom already. I'm at a loss for words almost. That flank watch just did not go well. Now Pax is left to pick up the scraps with the rest of his team. Chicken Eater, especially low downstairs. They're foaming the hatch and connector to throw a nade up. Might take out Mola Mola, but other than that, there's not much to work with. Kingman Red takes down one. Pax taking down another. Pax taking down another, actually. This could work out. A 2v2, health-wise, in advantage for Trident. However, now with one getting taken out, it's just Shadow Wizard Money Gang who gets the kill off over on Pax, and that is going to be now a 6-5 lead for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, nearly heading to a third map if they get one more.
5 straight rounds for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. That is very, very impressive. Like, even from and like facing any team, that is a feat and a half, and they were able to complete it. Currently, now all they need is one more round, and it's looking like they might get it. As you still see, they're just really able to buy anything they want. Logan Youngjet still with that Huracan. So I love the use of the Huracan. No Canuts. I am I am putting a ban on Canuts. But
Quick thing, you're gonna have to give live commentary real quick, as Breachers has unfortunately closed for me. I'm getting it back up, but in case they start to get towards that win, I don't want the audience at home to not know what's going on. I will let you know once I'm back in. I'm getting in right now. Are we still in the buy phase?
Yes, buy phase is still in. There are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and now we are getting into the round. You said you wanted me to just commentate it?
I am back in. Thank you for the interim. Sorry about that. I'm not quite sure what happened, folks, but we are back into it now, just loading into the match. 6-5. Looks like we have Logan Youngjet upstairs with the Huracan shooting out upstairs window. I'm not quite sure. The Breachers client, it crashed, but it came back up relatively quickly, thankfully. I've had that happen before. Now, Mola Mola downstairs on point. 2 roamers upstairs. This is a bit of a dangerous setup for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, especially, I would say, on these points. You don't have a lot of opportunities for roaming upstairs. However, this back hallway roam could prove dangerous if Logan Youngjet gets it off. Hello.
I was muted. I was casting. Sorry. Kingman Red able to take out Boiling. Now, Logan Youngjet able to take out 3 players with the Huracan. What a beautiful effort by Logan Youngjet to turn the tide for the Shadow Wizard Money Gang on this team, or on this round, and now he takes out the final player. So what a beautiful effort by Shadow Wizard Money Gang to, even though it looked like they were down and out, just getting pick after pick on them, Logan Youngjet able to push up and put the Huracan to use, shutting the door on Trident, able to tying it up, and now Shadow Wizard Money Gang tying it up, going into map 3.
And what a fantastic clutch that was. We saw a 3K with the Huracan, and you know, you're not gonna make a convert out of me, but I will admit the Huracan definitely has some fantastic use in that storage area. I like the Knut more, but I definitely don't dislike the Huracan. I don't know if you saw that clip that we had up. That was a fantastic pickup, and we'll be back with just as an exciting map 3 after the short ad break. We hope to see you all there. Don't log out just yet.
Prepare to
Only
start.
Baron left alive. Where is Baron? In the spawn. And somebody's
Go.
Spud in the bottom going absolutely crazy, getting the 2K.
Match point.
Welcome back, everyone, to Breachers VRML, hosted here on the VRML network by myself, Plague Doctor, with my co-caster today, Scorch. We're back with the exciting map 3 with Trident versus Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We just got off an exciting 3K clutch with the Huracan by Logan Youngjet. I know we just got an ad break, but I have to show it again one more time for the folks at home. Pushing straight in, takes out 1, 2, 3, didn't even have to go for a second shot. That is what we call a clutch at the VRML, and honestly a round winner for their team. Now heading on to Dam, Scorch. We have a lot of Spectrals out. Logan Youngjet wanting to immediately get the Huracan, win or lose, is on a bald Jesper.
Yeah, like I'm gonna go back to that Huracan play right there. Love the Huracan, but we will talk about it afterwards, as we'll probably see more. But Chicken Eater already looking to see if he can get a quick pick. There's a little bit of damage done on Jason, and a little bit of damage done on himself, but no kills currently. As Guinea pushing up with the rest of his team. Mola able to trying to get a pick, but able to get it on Jesus. Now Guinea looking to push up, see if he can take out a pick of his own, but Boiling able to take out Guinea. Mola taking out Pax. Wall is now blown. Looking to push up in Kingman Red, but Boiling stops the push in its tracks, but not before getting instant and almost losing all of his health. So 3-3, but the health really isn't favorable for either of these teams, as Jason able to take out Chicken Eater. So now Doctor Who, the only player that's not one shot to the head, and he uses that to his advantage, taking out one player in Mola. Now, all of these players are really one shot to the head. If you can hit the head, that is all you really need. As you see a flanker and Logan Youngjet able to see if he can push up for this Shadow Wizard Money Gang team onto Trident, and Jason sitting with EMP, trying to see if he can push into the door.
Logan Youngjet gets the kill. Now having his location exposed, it might have been better to have some trigger discipline, as Boiling Hot takes one down. Tries to get the second one as Jason pushing up with EMP. Ooh, and Boiling nearly gets the clutch off. Can't quite get it done. That is going to be a 1-0 lead for Trident on our map 3. And you said you wanted to revisit that Huracan. I'm going to give you the space to do so.
I want to point out something that, so obviously we don't hear it, or I'm not actually 100% sure if you have it active, but the Huracan that Logan Youngjet is using is a DLC Huracan, and it's pretty loud.
Oh yeah.
So it seems like he might be using that to his advantage, realizing if he can shoot as many shots as he can, maybe muffle some of his other teammates and just confuse the crap out of this Trident team from being able to push up into anything. So I don't know if that plays a factor, and obviously you're allowed to turn it off, so maybe some of these players in Trident have that DLC turned off, but still good gameplay. And now we are seeing it again in Logan Youngjet. He is wasting no time getting right into it, as his team already won one round, looking to see if he can secure a second against this Trident defense.
Which I will say, even without the DLC on, the Huracan is just a loud gun. So if that is what he's going for, it would be a good way to get it done. Chicken Eater might actually get flanked out on his flank by Guinea. Guinea is on stairs outside. Chicken Eater will definitely hear the door open up. Shoots the floor, I guess, out of panic, possibly. Logan Youngjet pushing up to the point with the Huracan. We're going to see Chicken Eater most likely very quickly getting surrounded, but Logan Youngjet, undaunted, pushing straight up towards the A door with the drone ahead of him, just checking that his immediate surroundings are clear, creeping up like a predator in the African Sahara, holding on to the Huracan, takes out one immediately, heading through, takes out two, but gets taken down by Pax. That's an immediate two-person trade for his team, really handicapping the rest of the players over on Trident, as now it is just one left, and that is going to be Chicken Eater at 2 health. The work being put in by Logan Youngjet and his teammates now paying off, with Chicken Eater about to get droned out on stairs, and he has almost no hope of winning this round now. But I may have spoken too soon.
He's able to take out one. Doesn't he maybe can take out a second? And maybe I don't know if he got the headshot off, but Kingman Red able to take out Chicken Eater. But like you were saying earlier, it is like a lion hunting for prey in the wild. Like, it is just, you see him just slowly creep up and then just strikes. And when he strikes hard. Like, you see multiple times where he has gotten 2, maybe 3 picks, as we saw on Storage. And that last round, we got 2 picks. So even though that site was more of a really wide open site, he was able to slowly crouch in, make it close range. So Logan Youngjet really knowing how to play with a shotgun against this Trident team, and really punishing this Trident team, because currently they have no answer for him.
And I think the crux of the issue with Trident currently, if I had to put a finger on it, would definitely be their the crux of the issue for Trident currently would definitely be their lack of defensive utility on their points. They're letting Logan Youngjet just literally walk in some cases without anything in return. They're not really giving any resistance other than with gunplay, and that's really shooting them in the foot. We see right now they have no grenades over on Trident. They're purely going with gunplay. I don't even see any trips. I don't see any statics. I don't see a door blocker. I don't see much in the way of defensive utility at all over on the Trident side, and that's really going to be handicapping them when it comes to these future rounds.
We've said it multiple times before, as Chicken Eater already getting a pick onto Jason. Mola able to trying to refrag him, but gets taken out by Chicken Eater on low HP. He's looking to maybe possibly get a 3rd or a 4th on these last 2 players. Jesus takes out Guinea, so now looking up for Trident, as he's able to take out 4th or 3rd, and Trident even get the 4th, and almost gets that 4th player, but Pax immediately able to refrag. So Chicken Eater showing that even though you're down on HP, you're not out. I believe he got 3 picks there, and 2 picks on like 4 HP. So good job by Chicken Eater to be able to clutch that round. And like you were pointing out before, the util, like, it is just, it needs to be used a lot more for these teams to be able to win. I mean, guns are a lot, obviously. If you can win your ones, perfect. You need to kill 5 players, but in doing so and not being able to get overwhelmed, using that util seriously helps. And I think that's why, like you were saying, I think that's maybe why Trident is struggling to get points on the board. They were able to get their first point on the board. Now I see a little bit more util being bought, as you see trips being placed and a static currently.
Getting some good utility down, however, sacrificing a lot of their money for it on that side. Meanwhile, over on Shadow Wizard Money Gang, they don't look much better economy-wise because of that loss. We do see, obviously, a Marui, a Vezin, and another Marui. However, they do have an Uricon in the hands of Logan Youngjet, which is a benefit, but a Viper in the hands of Guinea, which might not work as well. Chicken Eater deciding to leave the bathroom fully because of the drone. Going back in, wanting some seconds, I suppose, as Logan Youngjet ready to push up the point. Kidman Red very cautious about this bathroom as Logan Youngjet pushing up these players on the Trident side. Very cautious about a push from Logan Youngjet, but it doesn't matter. Logan pushing up on the box. Now inside the point, and he gets taken out by Trips. Didn't even check the corner. That's going to be definitely a weight off the shoulders for the Trident side because of Logan getting taken down. That's going to let them claim some more space because they're not going to be taken down by the shotgun.
And Mola able to take out Jesus, but and he was trying to push up quick, Boiling, taking out Jason. So now 2v4, not looking very likely for the Shadow Wizard Money Gang side, but still, nonetheless, they're trying as Incen goes out. A little bit of damage done onto Boiling. Guinea able to take him out. So now that is one player down, but Chicken Eater able to take out Mola Mola. So now it is all up to Guinea in a 1v3, looking to possibly start with a 1v2. Able to isolate his ones against Chicken Eater. Can he do it again against one of these two players? It does seem like that they are going to be electing to sit back a little bit, possibly play it patiently. And we could see a rotate from Guinea as he is swinging all the way around, making sure that he is giving up no bit of information by giving up no sound cues by running all the way around. And now he is officially in. Believe Pax heard that gunfire. Now Guinea pushing up, taking out that static, looking to see if he can plant the EMP. EMP is now 1 tick down, 2 ticks down, looking to see if he can get a third, but swings swings Doctor Who first, and now it is all up to Pax, and he knows where he is, and Guinea able to take out Pax, and a beautiful clutch by Guinea. I believe it was a 1v3. Beautiful, beautiful play by Guinea to be able to secure that round and use the information that you can just run all the way around to the other side of the map, keep the team guessing, and secure that round.
I think that was an unfortunate just showcase of the lack of patience, possibly, over on Trident when it came to their defense. Pax knew EMP wasn't down. He knew his teammate did just get killed. But you have two choices in those cases. You either wait until the player goes back onto the EMP, and because they need to finish it to win unless they kill you, or B, as soon as they kill your teammate, you rush in trying to get the refrag. And I think Pax got stuck in a bit of decision paralysis and went, do I go in, do I not? And so he ended up crouching in and right into the hands, right into the crosshairs of Guinea, which lost them the round 3-1. It's not looking great for Trident, but definitely it wasn't looking great for Shadow Wizard Money Gang on the last map either. I don't think we can decide it just yet.
It's still a young map 3 as we're only 5 rounds in, and this is the 5th round. 2 minutes and 14 seconds left. Drone goes out trying to see if he can get any sort of information done. Now he sees that there's a player sitting close, and Jesus on that wall. So a bit of a stalemate right now, as it does seem like Shadow Wizard Money Gang is now electing to go for a breaker push, trying to keep this Trident team guessing by getting as much of these players pushing over towards Guinea's side as he's baiting. Now these players, it seems like Trident now knows that they're going to be pushing up towards them. Mola Mola able to foam the wall, waiting patiently to blow it as flash goes out. Wall is now blown. Another flash goes out. Smoke goes out. Incense goes out. Another flash. It is util galore as a C4 kill onto Guinea, but not before Guinea was able to take out Pax. So now 4-4 as most of the util is used already. Kingman Red taking out Chicken Eater. Doctor Who sitting close, able to take out Jason, but Logan Youngjet with that Hurricane able to take out one, looking to take out a second. He does, and Jesus, my God. And now 3-1. Very, very quick turnaround as it was a very, very aggressive play onto this A site from Breaker. Only player remaining for Boiling Hot only player remaining for Trident is Boiling Hot, and he's able to take out one in Logan Youngjet, but it gets immediately denied by Mola Mola. Shadow Wizard Money Gang has now won 4-1, looking to see if they can claim their 5th round, and it's looking good.
It is looking fantastic for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, especially here on Switch Round. We do have, looks like going to be a complete full buy over on the Shadow Wizard Money Gang side versus, unfortunately, just not able to really get it off on Trident. And looking at Trident's buy, it feels like they're taking a page out of Logan Youngjet's book. I don't know if you see that, but I see 2 Uricons. Now only 1 Uricon. It seems to have been given up by Chicken Eater. He had one in there before, but now only holds on to one in Doctor Who's hand. Doctor Who holding on to an Uricon. Maybe they'll put some use into it, but at the same time, it's not looking great on this Switch round. Trident needs to get one more, or else Shadow Wizard Money Gang is going to go up 5-1. Getting a lot of defensive utility down, especially with some C4 over on the side. So we may see some Hail Mary plays possibly from Trident. Currently, Shadow Wizard Money Gang looking pretty on top of this matchup here on Dam.
And I'd like to mention that Shadow Wizard Money Gang has really been playing from behind this entire match. They were down 5-1 on Factory, ended up winning 7-5, and they lost map 1 7-3. So good job by Shadow Wizard Money Gang to crawl their way back, and now in dominant fashion for this Dam map number 3. So resiliency we are seeing from the Shadow Wizard Money Gang side, as now all players are pushing up towards that A wall. C4 sitting close, so Mola already taking out Boiling. Already looking good for the Shadow Wizard Money Gang team to possibly secure the 5-1 lead. A player in Jesus sitting back, watching the flank. Now it seems like Guinea and Jesus might 1v1 as Guinea takes out Jesus, and now 5-3 in favor of Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Now the wall goes out, nade goes out, no damage done, however, as it gets stuck in the corner. Trying to break the setting. Mola before entering. C4 still sitting close to that A chassis. Incense go out. Chicken Eater takes out Guinea on the flank. So now 4-3, looking slightly better for this Trident team, but Pax able to take out one. Logan Youngjet with that Hurricane able to take out one. So now 3-2 man advantage for Shadow Wizard Money Gang.
They just want to get this 5-1, but this a bit of a thorn in their side from Trident. Looks like Trident now forming back up on the B point. Mola inside. Jason pushing through. Mola takes out one. Chicken gets one with the C4. Now a 2v1, but Jason takes out Chicken Eater, giving the 5-1 lead to Shadow Wizard Money Gang. And this could go either way, either 6-1, or this could be a 5-1 curse, and we'll see Trident getting some rounds back up. It all comes down to this pistol round.
Very, very good gameplay from the Shadow Wizard Money Gang side, able to crawl their way back from maps 1 and 2, securing a 5-1 dominant lead in map 3. So looking very, very up and up for the Shadow Wizard Money Gang side, especially switching to the defense. I feel like Dam is a more of a defensive sided map, so being able to get as many rounds as they could on attack is beautiful, and the fact that they got 5 is even better. So Trident needs to pull any cards that they have in their sleeves and show their hand to try and force these Shadow Wizard Money Gang team in against the wall in the corner. It's going to be difficult, but I feel like anything really could happen. This game is really not over yet until 7 rounds have been won.
Doctor Who immediately inside the point gets taken down by Guinea. Guinea gets a 2K, nearly a 3 on Jesus, my God. Gets the 3K. Guinea vying for control immediately. That's Chicken Eater down as well. That is an immediate loss for the Trident side. And we saw, it felt like Shadow Wizard Money Gang, they were feeling the pressure a little bit with that 5-1 lead. We saw Logan Youngjet holding on to 2 incendiaries, which he immediately put to use, capitalizing off of the full hatch drop from the Trident side. Now 6-1 lead for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, potential for a 7-1 victory. That has got to be really stressful for the Trident side. They're going to have to put in some fantastic work to not go down.
If I'm on Trident, my mental is probably a little low right now, but it
at the
shouldn't
lowest,
be out.
Yeah.
It really should not be out yet. I mean, they still have to win 7 rounds. So Shadow Wizard Money Gang has not won this map yet. So Trident can take advantage of that, but they need to fix whatever they did before by just trying to play extremely aggressive, all pushing in very quickly. It seems like Shadow Wizard Money Gang is electing to kind of defend both sites as they did last time. Good job by them to be able to defend that Trident very quick play. In order for Trident to come back, they need to play together. Stop playing solo. Stop playing their ones. Nade goes out already, almost able to take out one, but Chicken Eater able to push up really quickly on Mola. So making me eat my words a little bit. Playing that one. A player on the flank, looking to see if he can get taken out by Chicken Eater, but Guinea just barely able to scathe in. Wall gets foamed. Doctor Who pushes up, takes out Jason. Chicken Eater takes out Guinea. Jesus takes out Logan Youngjet. And now Doctor Who pushes up and takes out Kingman Red, but not before Kingman Red was able to take out Pax. So if I'm Trident, I'm feeling a little bit better. That's exactly what you needed to be able to bring it back, a win and a win dominantly.
I am feeling better, and especially economy-wise, because of the loss bonus, you now have a good bit of money to work with. You can get maybe some intermediary rifles. I think instead of going for another save, at this point, you're down this many rounds, I think you have to start going for Arils and Cadeos. I don't think going for a save one more round might not work out, especially with the economy and with the gameplay in Shadow Wizard Money Gang. We've seen them put fantastic work in when holding on to, you know, just a SMG, just a rifle. So if you underestimate the Shadow Wizard Money Gang stack, you're going to be really, really sad, honestly, as you're going through this. 15 seconds left in the buy phase. 2 flashes on Jesus, my God. 2 flashes on Chicken Eater. We'll see if they put in the work. This is a very decisive round for Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They just need to get the initial picks off, and I think it'll be curtains for Trident.
Like you said, they need to start off hot. They need to get 1, maybe 2 picks. Nade goes out, denying that drone from being able to get any sort of information, but immediately going back to site. So even though they denied that drone, they gave up space pretty quickly. Shadow Wizard Money Gang electing to kind of just go for a bit of a passive play because they realize that they don't need to give up the weapons that they have against this team because they're already up such big numbers. We see 4 players sitting site, 1 in Rome. Now pushing back is Kingman Red. So now basically all 5 players are in sight. Chicken Eater pushes up, takes out Guinea with that Canut, looking to elect to plant the EMP very, very quickly as Mola Mola trying to push up to deny that, but Boiling able to deny Mola Mola, able to take out Kingman Red. Now Trident is up 5-2. It seems like they're officially starting to lock in as Logan Youngjet takes out 1. Chicken Eater able to refrag, and Jason taking out Chicken Eater. So good refrags by both of these teams. Now Trident playing the EMP, playing safe, playing back against this Shadow Wizard Money Gang team. And now Doctor Who heard him sprint and decides to peek and takes out Jason. So looking better and better for Trident.
It is looking a lot better. I'm kind of curious what happened to Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They had a really dominant pistol round, and now they're almost falling apart. We're seeing the economy getting better and better over on Trident, and really getting down in the dumps, honestly, over on Shadow Wizard Money Gang. They're not having good team play at this point. It feels like they got too confident in their ones and are getting taken down. I'm seeing some better utility, but also the Canut in the hands of Chicken Eater put in some fantastic work. We're seeing them now full commit into these rounds with a full Marui buy, other than Pax, who for some reason is still sticking with the Viper. I'm not sure the thought process, but he has his reasons, I suppose.
I don't know, $4,300. You're on basically match point if you lose this. I don't know why he's not going for the.
He's
Marui,
committed, I guess.
He is committed. He could prove us wrong here by getting an ace with the Viper. I believe it, but 2 minutes 25 seconds left on the clock. Trident electing to go for a bit of a more passive approach than they did last time, biding their time, droning out, making sure nobody is there. All 5 players for Shadow Wizard Money Gang again electing to anchor. Maybe that might be the reason why Trident is starting to win, because they're not able to worry about the flanks, and those flanks aren't a factor anymore. C4 goes out, a little bit of damage, but does not kill anybody. Jason now throwing that nade, almost an S-tier frag, but these players were able to realize where it was being thrown from and able to back off in time. Chicken Eater foaming the wall. If he sees Kingman Red in time, he might be able to get that pick, but Chicken Eater now elects to go for the flash. Second flash going down. 1, 2, almost a 3rd pick on Mola Mola, but he's able to refrag as Guinea takes out Boiling. Pax refrags Guinea. Mola Mola takes out Jesus, and now 2v1 as Pax looks to plant the EMP all alone.
Why? What? What happened?
He is all alone, but Mola Mola able to take out Pax, and now Doctor Who is the sole remaining player for this Trident squad. Not quite sure why he tried to plant it all alone with Doctor Who sitting back green, but I don't know. Doctor Who might, I would say, elect to wait for the stim. Now stim is in hand, trying to see if he can get that final pick onto Mola Mola.
They had a full minute and 10 seconds and chose not to use it. Now Mola Mola has just revealed his position behind the bomb to Doctor Who, which might be a bit of a misplay. Oh, Doctor Who just triggered the clone.
He might
Mola
see
Mola.
it.
Mola Mola definitely heard the clone turning on and off. He knows there's someone here. He's probably going to go for the incendiary, but will he? Doctor Who swinging time. Mola Mola has his gun down completely, and I don't know, man. Competing. I don't know, man. Competing throws, I would say. I have to say, competing throws on that round. Pax planting with no teammates to support him, definitely, but Mola Mola just giving up the victory by not having his gun up, holding an incendiary that was primed and never using it. That was rough.
I don't know if in this situation 2 negatives make a positive. Like it just I'm so many questions, but it ended up working out for Trident. I'm not quite sure why they elected to plant the EMP super early without another player with them. So Mola Mola able to swing with an easy pick, and the EMP still not down. And then Mola Mola just sits there with his gun down. No, he knows he's close. He knows he's looking to plant as there's like 10 seconds left on the clock. So I don't know. It was interesting, but nonetheless, it happened, and now we are set to enter round 11.
You know, I'll give maybe he's deaf. Maybe he didn't hear.
Possibly.
Maybe he didn't hear the clone activating and deactivating as he interacted with the hitbox. Maybe it was just a lapse in judgment, right? Now, heading into our next round, Trident has another mercy chance to get into their 5 to 6 range. Flash goes into the back line, which will hurt these players a little bit and give some good ideas of the positioning for them. Now Chicken Eater pushes back, takes out 1, takes out 2, tries to take out Logan, can't quite get sight lines on him. That's going to give opportunity for the plant, but Boiling going in on the wrong side of point to plant now tosses the EMP to his teammates. Kinman and Logan, both inside B, not quite sure what to do. Logan holding on to the Huracan could put in some work, but he's very long range on these peaks. Not a lot of opportunities. Chicken takes out 1. Logan Youngjet is definitely going to be able to one-tap Chicken if he's not careful, but they're set up well enough to cover each other's cross angles that I don't think Logan can get this done. He will probably take out Boiling. Boiling is not ready for Logan to be there, but I was apparently lying. Boiling gets the kill on Logan Youngjet, and that's going to bring us to 6-5, and actually a really big opportunity for Trident to tie it up 6-6, but with those victory shots from Chicken Eater with the Huracan, I think that's just a declaration of war for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, and especially Logan Youngjet.
Trident was given a gift the previous round, and they used that
golden
gift
opportunity,
to their
dude.
advantage. They were able to win round 5, and now they are in prime position to tie it up. And I'm not quite sure what the points are looking like, but it looks like if Trident ties this up, they are able to choose freely what they want, and I wouldn't be surprised if they stayed with the attack. And it's just, it is looking so much better for Trident. Last round, everyone is full buying, or almost full buying. Not quite sure why King came in, had a Spectral. Now he elects to go for a Viper. So now we see full buys from both sides. So this is really just all about who can effectively make the plays. Trident looking a little bit better with 5 rifles in hand. And it's just, it's looking so much better for Trident here.
All right, I have to say, chat did agree with us. They just got to that play on that last couple rounds where Mola Mola just couldn't quite get the incendiary down, and the reactions in chat were about the same. It's not often. Oh no, Logan Youngjet just straight through the back line, takes down 2, and then gets really greedy, I would say. already down, but took down 2 players for 1. But it's not often I'm actually at a loss for words, but that was one of those times. I just didn't know what to say. Trident dealt a bad hand at this point with Logan on the back line with the Urcon. They didn't check it with the drone or anything else. So now they're going to be at a bit of a disadvantage. Chicken wants to push in with his teammate getting taken down. Nade as well. Chicken goes in, tries to take one out. Now it's just Boiling, who's standing between his team and a loss versus Shadow Wizard Money Gang. Tries to take down one, needs to reload. He's going to get flanked out. There's one in the hallway behind him. He doesn't know it. He's going to get pushed out very quickly from the bathroom. He doesn't know there's someone back there. Info peeks, doesn't see anyone there. 6-5, minute and 5 left on the clock. He could get it done. He doesn't know Kinman's there, but he has an inkling. He knows there's someone maybe on the back lane. He doesn't know where Kinman is. He just puts his gun down, gets shot, and goes for the smoke throw instead of his gun. And that's going to be a 7-5 victory. Here's our final scoreboard, folks, and that's going to be a 7-5 victory for Shadow Wizard Money Gang versus Trident. A close-fought match with really high highs and especially low lows here in the casting booth. It has been a fantastic one to watch. Scorch, what are your closing thoughts on that last round?
High highs and low lows indeed. Like that, the last couple of rounds were just questionable plays after questionable plays, but Shadow Wizard Money Gang able to pull this one out, and it was a hard-fought victory. They were down 3-7 to start map 1, down 5-1 to start map 2, and they just clawed their way back, won 7-5 and won 7-5 the next map. Good job by Shadow Wizard Money Gang to, even though they were in the face of adversity, they did not give up. They realized, hey, listen, this isn't over yet. We are going to push, and push they did.
No, 100%. It's been an exciting matchup. I know here in the casting booth, you know, we're joking around a little and everything, but it's been a really exciting matchup to watch these two teams put up a lot of good work against each other. Honestly, this has been a fantastic showing of their gunplay and a little bit of their utility. I didn't see as much utility as I really think we really would have liked, but still we saw a lot of good gunplay, especially from Logan Youngjet and Chicken. I think both of them were definitely front runners for their teams, especially with the Urcon. We got a lot of clips of that. Mola Mola put some good shots down range as well. We had fantastic gameplay overall, and before we go into our sponsors and into the end of the stream, Scorch, just any overall thoughts for these teams possibly, especially with, you know, I feel like one of my overall thoughts for Trident might be just watching the backline a little bit more and trying to train their team play just a little bit more on these maps. We saw some fantastic 1v1s for Chicken Eater and some of the other players, but we didn't see a lot of fantastic team play where they complemented each other.
Yeah, like you said, we saw a lot of individual play, not a lot of team play. I also would like to see a little bit better eco wise. There was a lot of questionable buys where they full bought too much, and then there was a lot of questionable buys where they didn't buy anything at all. So I think the management of eco needs to be a little bit better. The util needs to be a little bit better. And for Shadow Wizard Money Gang, I mean, they also had a ton of faults in the beginning, didn't really use much util on map 1 to start on attack. They were just pushing in, not really watching flanks. So, but they were able to face adversity head on and able to claim this victory, and Trident, to no fault of their own, like they played very well. They still played a very good game. There's still faults. Obviously, nobody's perfect. There's still faults that a lot of these teams make, and there's still a long season ahead of us.
Definitely is. Before we sign off for the night, I want to give a quick thanks to the sponsors of the VRML. First of all, Triangle Factory for creating the beautiful game that was played on screen today. Breachers, where these two teams were able to battle out, where we were able to use the fantastic casting client that they have for everyone, not just the VRML, but for everyone who owns Breachers. It's been super exciting to watch these teams battle it out, play Breachers, and play the game we love. We recently saw Triangle Factory at VRMLCon with contributing that prize pool that the top team won. Fantastic people, fantastic game. Go check out their new game that they're making, actually, Forefront. I played the open alpha for that, both of them, and it's been super, super fun. Thank you, Trongo Factory, for supporting the VRML. Additionally, HyperX for their fantastic peripherals for your PC and gaming needs. They have keyboards, headphones, microphones, everything in between to make your gaming experience and your experience on the PC in general better. You can see multiple people on the casting team using this HyperX gear. We have Bob with the Quadcast, I believe. We have Martini definitely with the Quadcast. A lot of that HyperX gear is being used not just because of the sponsorship, but because of how good that gear really is. We have a discount code you can use on the site, I believe. Additionally, ProTube for your VR gaming needs with your gun stocks on the shooters. They have fantastic gun stocks, fully adjustable. With that, we saw their stocks on stage at VRMLCon as well as on the casting booth. Thank you, ProTube, for sponsoring the VRML. It's been fantastic to work with those folks over at ProTube. And finally, one of my favorite sponsors of the VRML, you, the viewer, for watching. We have so many folks coming out and supporting these teams in the chat and just keeping the lights on for us and allowing us to do the things we love, like cast for the VRML, and like just watch these teams play and watch the players interact with each other in the chat, no matter how many interesting conversations we see happening in the chat. You should come out and participate at some point in one of our future casts. But with that said, I hope you all have a great rest of your night. This has been a fantastic matchup between Shadow vs. Renegade and Trident. This has been Plague Doctor, your host, with my co-caster Scorch. We're signing off for the night. We'll see you on the next one.
Reacher's VRML is brought to you by Helga, the esports manager, Triangle Factory. Thanks for watching VRML.